This is going to be a beginner dungeon guide for Forsaken Fortress in Wind Waker Randomizer. Before getting into the guide though, I'm going to give a small disclaimer. This will not be the most optimal route through Forsaken Fortress. Instead, it is a route that I personally believe is great for beginners looking to start playing or racing Wind Waker Randomizer. This route will avoid some of the more difficult tricks in the game and is key agnostic because there are no keys in Forsaken Fortress. This route will be a good starting point to start learning and practicing Forsaken Fortress that you can later improve upon as you learn more difficult tricks, riskier strategies, or even more restrictions on items. With that being said, let's take a look at what items you will need for this Forsaken Fortress route. Our required items for this route will be bombs, the Master Sword at any upgrade level, the Skull Hammer, and either Deku Leaf or Hookshot, either of which will be needed to access a chest in the jail cells. Now, this is a randomizer. When playing Seeds, it's possible some of the items required for this route will be inside or even locked behind chests in Forsaken Fortress. For this route, those items are these. The Skull Hammer can only ever appear in Phantom Ganon's chests, as the rest of the dungeon is locked behind it, but there's nothing strictly forcing you to receive any of these other items before you enter Forsaken Fortress. It's still very valuable to learn and practice this route, but I wanted to acknowledge that you may not always have your ideal loadout when playing full Seeds or participating in races. And with that, let's head on in to Forsaken Fortress. Now, the first thing we're going to do is blast down this door. And that is the only time we're going to use bombs in this entire dungeon. Now, if you have Leaf, just leaf on over to this platform instead of dropping into the water first and climbing up. But I did say you will need Hookshot or Leaf. You don't need Leaf. You might be in here without it. And we'll get into the why and how of that a bit later. But the first thing we are going to do in Forsaken Fortress is kill Phantom Ganon. We're not going to open his chest, but we are going to kill him first. So, I'll show you how I like to kill him. I like to ignore this first ball, walk over to this thing, and hold L. If he spawns above you, just do a backflip, retarget on him, and you get a one-cycle tennis. And then you just quick spin him down. He spawned behind me that time, so I'm just going to do quick spins. Very kind of him to show me both of his spawn patterns for this. He spawned above me again. I'll do a backflip. And then play tennis with him. And he's dead. Now, if you're lucky, even without soup, if he spawns behind you twice in a row, as long as you do all quick spins, you can two-cycle him. With soup, it doesn't matter where he spawns, because soup gives you that damage buff. But even without soup, if he spawns behind you twice in a row, you can two-cycle him. It's just a little RNG. It's not the biggest thing to do, but it is a nice little thing to be aware of. Now, instead of opening that chest, like I said, we're going to come hammer down the peg with our Skull Hammer and head on. We will use Phantom Ganon's chest later, but for now, we are going to clear the rest of the dungeon. So, instead of going through all the doors, I'm just going to come up here. There are a few ways down through this window. I think the easiest one for a beginner is to line yourself up with this kind of like darker line on the floor, and then go down, and in front of the window, press the Skull Hammer button while you're in the air, and you'll just jump slash into the window, and you can head on over into the bedroom. Now, this is the room with all the beds. You can actually see the chest from here. With chest type matches contents, you could see, oh, that chest is nothing, and immediately leave the room. If you need that chest, it's very easy. Just jump down and open it. I mean, it is just that easy to come do that. Now you can just come climb the ladders to get out of this room past, all the beds. Nice of him to give them beds, I guess. And we're going to head on over to the jail room. Now, the thing about the jail room, this is the room where we need Leaf or Hookshot. And it's in order to get the chest, the upper jail chest. Now, if this chest is nothing, you can always come down here and peek the lower jail chest like this. In this case, it's actually wooden. We'd know it's nothing. And I would leave. If you need the upper jail chest and you have Hookshot, you would hookshot over to it and have to jump down anyway. With just hookshot, you can't get back over to the other side up here from here. But we're just going to open that chest, and, you know, we'll pretend that, oh, I need the lower jail cell chest anyway. So we're going to open the jail cell with that button. If we come to this wall, we can kind of just roll along it, even with the barrels there, and come open the chest. We've now completed the jail cell. Now, if you don't need that lower chest and you can avoid coming down here, I like to do that, even though you have to go through the two doors, like outside and back inside. I like doing that because you fully avoid spawning all of these mini blins. Some people will spawn them no matter what. Some people will do like I like to do and go up top, but I showed you how to do it even if you have to go down. Now, if this chest is nothing, like it would be in this case, you can just jump up here and continue on the dungeon. If you have to come get this chest, you can just run off and hold up, and you should get a ledge grab, and then come grab the chest guarded by the Bokoblin. And we are almost done with FF, really. That mini blin was very mean, but let me hit down that peg just in time. Now, we're going to take out our Wind Waker because we're going to come get storage right here. This is a drop spot that is deceptively short. It looks a lot longer than it is. If you're practicing it and you're like, why can't I get this? It is, wow, I can't even get a drop. It is a deceptively small storage spot. It looks so much bigger than it is. But we're going to use that storage and come store Phantom Ganon's chest. We're going to use this to climb up to the Helmrock King, the boss of this dungeon. So we're going to jump all the way over here, and we're going to climb up. We climb up a little bit to the side because you might fall through the building right here. And let's say, hey, maybe you did, right? Like, and sometimes bad things happen. Sometimes, you know, just some small mistake, some walk in slightly the wrong space, you wind up in the water. Don't panic. It's okay to be in the water here. What you're going to do, this is where you would climb up normally. If you just come over here to this rock structure on the other side of the door, this kind of part where it bends and the dark lines meet, you can climb up, and then you can just walk up the wall right here and make it up top. So yeah, even if you do kind of screw up, if you walk up a little bit too far to like over here, you might fall through the level. That's totally fine. That is a backup to get you up here. You don't have to like panic. You don't have to like find another way back up there. It's like, no, there's just a backup. You can climb out of the water. Next, we're going to come up over here around where this torch is. Now, you can climb up with this torch. With Leaf, you can just run straight up and Leaf into the loading zone. Since you don't need Leaf, I'm going to show you another very easy way to do this. Like, let's say you don't have Leaf. Another very low-risk way. We're going to climb the wall in a similar spot, but we're going to kind of try to run over here so we can be in front of where the boss door would be normally. I would practice it, kind of get a feel for where you have to go. And then, you know, you could hammer that peg down, but you have chest storage. You can just run right on up here, clip through the door, and boom, you are in the boss fight, and we have stored Phantom Ganon's chest. So, Helmrock King is a pretty fun boss fight. As soon as you get to this side, if you just tap L, you'll get this kind of locked camera that lets you just, like, I don't have to touch the camera at all. It'll just stay focused on this kind of angle. So I can just very much focus on climbing, trying to get as decent of a path. This isn't the best path up the room, but, you know, just one that works. Don't get hit by the Bokoblins. Don't get hit by the bird. And just make our way. It's a very long tower that we want to climb. And now we are going to do the Helmrock King boss fight proper. And by proper, I mean we are going to skip this stupid RNG bird with storage. So, what you want to do is come right here and get storage. We got it first try. Give this some practice. It's very important. Up here, we're going to side hop to the right. In this cutscene, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 backflips, and then with your controller, side hop to the left. And then neutral roll. I did it so slow because I was explaining that you couldn't see me more. Then you'll neutral roll to grab the ledge, let go. While you're falling, around the time you start hearing your scream, just spam the B button. You should land up on top of the jail cell. Okay, I let it go a little late. But then you want to pull out your Wind Waker twice, like press it twice, to get rid of storage. Right? You do not want to have storage anymore. So you get rid of storage. I like to come way around here, and then boom, Helmrock King comes down, and we start whacking him with the Skull Hammer. After that cutscene, it kind of warps me up here, just kind of slowly edge my way off back on top of the jail cell so I don't jump. I don't want to jump off the jail cell. 3, 4, 5. So again, during this cutscene, I'm going to reiterate the movement that I did during that initial cutscene with storage. I got the storage, did a side hop right to trigger the cutscene. Once the cutscene started, I did 5 backflips, and then a side hop to the left on your controller. Link will jump to the right because of the direction he's facing, but like let me rephrase that. Link will jump, do a side hop left, but because they're facing you, like you're facing opposite directions, Link's left is your right from the camera's perspective, so that's why you do a side hop left. Then you do a neutral roll by just you're still holding the L button and pressing A. That's pressing A, you do neutral roll, you'll grab the ledge, you let go of the ledge, and then while you're falling, around the time you hear the scream, you just start spamming the B button a little bit to get a jump slash. If that's confusing, just give it some practice, like watch what I did, practice it with, what I said in mind. It might take a little bit of practice, but you'll get there. It's a very consistent way to do that storage movement. But either way, that is the end of Forsaken Fortress.